as common in this game, he actually uses weapons a lot. He uses his hatchet, and he has a new weapon called a gunstock club, which he uses in a bunch of his attacks, and it's actually a real Native American weapon that they use. They would pick up guns and use them as clubs, and then they actually started making their own versions of them.
Right.
You can Google it. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was something that Edwards was really pushing for to give it new life and a new weapon.
And he can also use a spiritual axe as well as his real one. You can see there, he uses both, and then you can see the spirit one actually go away, and he puts the other one back. It's pretty neat.
I would assume the spiritual one's more powerful.
Sure. So let's go over just 3 or 4 moves I really wanted to show. The first is his forward 2, where he uses the new club, and that's a really long range overhead that he can
And it's
either
a
end
good
it.
speed too.
Yeah, I would say it's slightly on the slow side, but for an overhead,
Yeah.
it's not going to be lightning quick.
Right.
And he can actually hit confirm that into a special move, or he can just knock you down.
Classic shoulder charge.
Then to complement that is his forward 1, and that is super quick. I think
Yeah.
it's 14 frames, something like that, and that has
lot of
really good range.
Yeah, and it goes forward.
Yeah, he can also hit confirm that. He can stay safe on block by not finishing it. And I think these 2 moves really are like his core 2 mid-range moves, and they complement each other. So one forces you to stand block, but is a little bit on the slow side.
Right.
And the other one is super, super quick, and that's excellent for like punishing whiffs, like after you hit a low poke.
It's just a good, quick advancing
Yeah,
attack. Right?
it's one of those buttons that you really can't go wrong hitting.
Right.
Then he has another really good mid, which is his back 1. He goes into this toe stomp, and then his shoulder charge. And this, you can see there's a ton of like natural delay for the shoulder, and it's awesome for staggering. You do the first 2 hits, and then you can go for throws, or jump overs, or low pokes, or let it go and you do the shoulder.
Gotcha.
Right.
And then lastly, I really like this string because it reminds me of UMK3. He has this kick to the chest,
Right.
ending in this chop, which is total UMK3.
Yeah, the chop is.
And I think this string is awesome for staggers. And this actually has a crushing blow. And the requirement is if the last hit is the only one to connect. So if the opponent blocks it, don't do the 3rd hit, you start doing throws.
Right.
And then when the opponent actually lets go of block because they think you're going to throw, that's when you get the crushing blow.
Cool.
And that leads to a pop-up.
Does he have his little classic low starter like from MK3?
He does,
Yeah.
and like
There
MK9,
it
it's
is.
not a low.
That's awesome.
Part of the second hit is.
The second hit is yes, but the first hit's a mid.
Right. And we'll actually get back to that move in a little bit.
Yeah,
Tyler
yeah.
must have something about it.
Well, it changes later.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
So let's show his throws, which I think are pretty cool. And he's one of the rare characters that has a crushing blow on both throws, which is always
Awesome.
really, really strong.
Love both of his throws. I especially I mean, the one with the light coming down is amazing. But the power that the gun club there has,
Yeah.
the moment he waits and like really loads it up is really cool.
And that may have a pretty cool brutality.
It may have?
It
may.
may have.
There's just a chance of it.
After the hood, I'm always going to say may.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So let's go over special moves.
Sure.
His base loadout is pretty much exactly what you'd expect. It's classic UMK3 Nightwolf with a couple of twists. So first, the shoulder barge. It's back, long range, great whiff punisher, great check.
Also,
However, new to this, it's a mid, which is
Oh.
a really big buff for this move. You used to be able to just crouch. So like Katana versus Nightwolf in like MK9, I would just crouch, and if he did shoulder, he was going to lose 50% of his
Right.
life.
Right.
it was a high.
Yeah,
So in this game, it would be even worse because you just crouch and then uppercut for a crushing blow.
exactly.
Right.
So now you have to actually crouch block, which is going to set up all of his normal
But
attacks.
he
Yeah, which
gets
is
a crushing
right where he
blow
wants to be.
off of this as well.
Well, he has a new amplify thing where he chops you, and if only the amplify hits, he gets the crushing blow.
And it keeps you restanding.
Yep.
And you get to keep that axe in your head for a little bit.
Yeah,
Hold that.
which is
You
really,
gotta-
really gross.
You got to think about it.
So then he has his arrow back, which is a pretty standard, good projectile. It's pretty quick, but
Right.
there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. And I think this again plays into him kind of reacting to what you want to do or forcing you to move. He can amplify it, and he really quickly shoots 3. And this is really good for catching people that they duck the first arrow and they try to advance in. It's like, no, I don't think so.
It's high, mid, high.
Right. And then he can also actually cancel it. So he can hold it, look for movement. If they're not going to move, he can cancel it.
My favorite thing to do is to hold it and then burn it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
super.
So that's like, there's just like a lot of levels of stuff you can
And
do.
if you cancel it, it also takes a bar, right?
Yes.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to say that I love that you did here was you create the lore you gave early. You put Kano versus Nightwolf.
I actually always try. A lot of people get mad if I use Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Yes, they do.
Especially Sub-Zero. The Sub-Zero community, I agree with you guys. He always gets beat up. So I try to base it on lore.
There you go.
Or at least use like Johnny Cage or something, because everybody hates Cage.
Whoa.
What? Not
That's
cool.
not even close to correct.
Not cool.
Anyway, and lastly, he has his reflect. And you can hold it. It's a reflect. It'll bounce back.
Now, good to know, it reflects one projectile.
Yes. If you throw multiple projectiles, it won't reflect a second. So you
Right.
have to be careful. So the opponent can amplify if they have a double. Like Nightwolf's own arrow, he could amplify to hit Nightwolf.
Right. And Nightwolf then in return would get hit by one other one,
Yes.
but could reflect that one back if he wanted to.
A fun anecdote that happened between you and me the other day.
Oh, this is true.
You reflected my katana fan, and I absorbed with her parry
Right.
my own fan, which then buffed me. And because we were playing on the balance patch, the buff was better.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Spoiler
Calm
alert.
it down,
Whoa, whoa.
Stephanie. Calm it down.
Not
Okay.
cool.
So, let's go into loadout 1.
Yep.
And the first 2 loadouts we're going to show are his tournament variations. Everyone's always like, oh my god, show the tournament variations. So, we aim to please. My wish is your command. And so this is
I wouldn't say that.
this is the one I actually personally use.
I prefer the other.
Yes. So the first one I would say is a combo based one. So he gains the hatchet uppercut. It's a good anti-air move. It's a combo ender.
Covers
And
a
if
lot of space.
Yes, that's a very good point. You can kind of use it in the mid range if you want,
Right.
because that is a lot of space. And if you amplify it, that's where it really gets juicy. It's a big combo starter. So like, that's going to be like his chief combo starter. And one thing I really like, it's super fun to use. I was literally doing it right before we went on the air. He can double it, and the pop-up's still really good.
Awesome.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
There we go.
And you can
Nice.
see hella wall carry. Like from mid-range, he went all the way to the corner. So
Yep.
that's going to do really good damage. You are using 2 bars, so you're not going to be able to literally do it every time you get a pop-up, but it's pretty good. Secondly, he has Kiba, which is a spirit wolf. This buffs his damage, and it's a reference to Defenders of the Realm, which it's my favorite thing about Nightwolf, is that the wolf is Kiba. That's so great. I wish it could go into his chest and he could hack computers. But anyway, so this has a neat thing where if he amplifies it, I mistime it, and he actually gains armor. So that's actually a safer way to set it up. So a lot of times, like with Shao Kahn, it's very hard to get the buffs active, although not anymore.
Whoa!
We're gonna be run out of balance ideas by the time this is over.
So anyway, the opponent's going to have to guess whether you're going to amplify it or not. You can actually absorb the projectile, and then you're going to get a nice juicy damage buff.
It's awesome.
And a cool wolf comes out in house.
Yeah.
So I think that's variation 1. It's pretty much you get really good combos, and you get a damage buff to complement your really good combos.
Can you
I
do-
hope that
can
the
you-
community howls anytime the wolf comes up.
It happened at Evo.
Oh, yeah?
When the
Yeah,
they
that
played the
was
trailer
awesome.
for him.
Oh, that's
Will
great.
you do the wolf real quick
Yeah.
and do throw? So 20 more damage
Yeah.
on a throw. So
Wow,
I'm
all
pretty
right.
beefy.
Also, if someone doesn't get top 8 and then actually act out his howling wind pose, I will consider that a personal insult and be very, very disappointed.
It's an insult to the entire combat cast. crew.
Yeah. It's an insult to the studio, the cinematics team, the audio team, the spirit,
Yeah, everything.
everything. Yeah. Like, why are you playing?
Yep.
Next.
I agree.
Moving on. I don't even want to
So
think
before we
about
move on, let's also look at his fatal blow, because I think the into attack is super cool.
Yeah.
It's like a menagerie.
Cool.
All right, so loadout 2, and this is the one you really like,
Yes.
and it's the one like Ultra David, and I think a lot of people are gonna like. If you like grappling,
I do.
it. Who doesn't?
Lots of people.
Really?
Well,
That's sad.
it's my favorite style.
okay, so
First of all, Just
the Revenant skin.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. The war paint's really cool, and his glowing eyes just look creepy. So the first thing he has in this one is he gains 2 additional combo enders, and they are throws. He gets this awesome tackle, and this actually adds a crushing blow, and it's a punish. So if you have this loadout, he gets additional damage when he blocks like a Kano ball or whatever.
We talk about this a lot. There's certain characters that if you don't get that crushing blow during the game, you probably lost the match.
Yeah.
You're getting this one every game.
Yeah,
if you're
I mean,
playing.
it's a
Yeah.
punish. There's no reason not to. And then he gets this, which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
The rollout.
The rollout's so good. Yeah, I like how the rollout's timed with the knife dissipating.
Yeah. I actually do this early a lot. I'll do this out of range. The low one, and it works really well.
And this is the crushing blow.
Great
That's-
choice of axe, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This
His-
could be some of your finest work for costumes.
His axes and gunstock clubs were really cool.
Yeah.
So then he gains an amplified reflect where he actually teleports. And he can actually reflect something and then teleport too. So it's like not only are you counter zoning, you're literally like getting in. So that's even better than counter. Like that's true counter zoning.
That does count. That costs a bar.
Yes, you can't just do it willy-nilly, but that complements the grappling, which we're about to show.
And it's so crazy, too, like we said earlier. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Like you can hold down the reflect too and
Yes.
change your timings up and things. It's really
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah, you can hold it for quite a while and then teleport. So he gains a true command grab. It has an amplify, which looks really nasty and actually gives him hella hit advantage. You can see Nightwolf is just walking along. He can actually jump over them. He gets a lot of time off that, and he has some pretty good tick throws. So that's not blocking. Okay. So, all 3 of his low pokes actually tick, which is pretty rare. And I think a really interesting one is 4-2, 1+2 actually ticks, but it's the first hit of the 2. Like the last part is 2 hits. You can actually tick off that.
No confirm it. You have to dial it out.
Right, yeah, I
So,
am dialing out.
You have to take a chance. But yeah.
So yeah, you are sacrificing your combos because you don't have the up axe, but you get command grabs. So I think
a good
that's-
trade-off.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
think it's
trade-off.
totally going to depend on your playstyle. I personally, I just stick at mid-range, spam forward 1, hit confirm into combos. That's how I want to play them. If you are someone who likes the idea of tick throws, all that kind of good stuff, I think you'll like it.
I've been playing a lot with Dan in cinematics, and I've been having a great time playing Nightwolf.
He's super fun. He's another one where I have to be honest. I'm not like this huge Nightwolf stan. Like he's never, I'm not like in UMK3. He's my main.
Right.
But he is. I play him for work, and I've had a ton of fun. He's very simple to pick up. I think he's very, very straightforward. Like there's not a lot of stances or complex stuff here. He's pretty simple, and that's always what I enjoyed out of a character.
Sure.
So let's go one more loadout that I made for fun.
Yep.
And this costume, this is mine. I love it.
We called it Night Cub, which you'll see why in a moment.
Because it's young, young human Nightwolf. I'm super into the wolf on his head, and I just love the jeans and jacket. That's so cool.
There's
So-
something weird about seeing like people in a fighting game like wearing jeans.
Right,
I
yeah.
just think it's cool, right?
So first, he has Spirit Tracks, which is actually replaces the shoulder, and it is a low roll into a sweep. And this is pretty awesome because again, it's an anti-zoning tool that
So you're going under
goes
projectiles.
under projectiles. So you can read a projectile, and then he can amplify it
Pop
and
up.
get a pop-up. And the amplification is actually another ability that I equipped. So I'm using 2 slots. Normally he will not get the pop-up on that, but I used it to get the pop-up.
Gotcha.
And then the second move I gave him is Hannah's Wrath, where he summons this Spirit Eagle. And this is a projectile that has very interesting properties. When it connects, it actually forces the opponent, they cannot do amplified moves. While they have that aura on them, Kano cannot do amplified ball, amplified not. Any of his amplifications are disabled, and it lasts a pretty decent length of time. And while we're not showing it, you're going to have to wait. The bear is another buff move, and his name is Como, if people want to know.
Of course, people want to know.
Yeah,
they
so
do wanna know.
Hana, Como, and Kiba.
Cool.
And his second fatality is Comatose.
I'm super into that. That's good stuff.
Which I believe we revealed for the show that Ed was at.
Yep.
Yes.
In Chile. Awesome. That right there is Nightwolf.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty cool character. I think if you really liked him in 9 and UMK3 and you just kind of want to play that honest mid-range game, I think you'll be pretty happy. He kind of...
Definitely, like, of course I always love when there's a command grab character that comes out and it fit what I wanted to do. Really enjoyed Nightwolf. And like you said, like a lot of our characters, like his barrier to entry is not huge.
Yeah, I think the barrier to entry is very, very low. He's not going to take a lot of mechanical skill. The skill is going to come in making the right reads.
Right.
Predicting when they're going to do a projectile, predicting when they're going to whiff a low poke because they're scared of your forward 2, or
Or
He's
knowing when
very-
you get in with him, and then once you're in.